drawing the defender out to open up space and open up gaps in FIFA 22. There's 2 ways of doing this, and I'm going to teach you.
Griezmann, 3 men around him to somehow find some space. Ronaldo, fantastic, opening the drive back.
He's made himself the tiniest bit of space.
Almost feels like a bit of a toy. Didn't really go for it. Oh! The display there is absolutely ridiculous. The Elastico on the goal line. On the goal line, the finest.
We talked about Aussie Super. He's not here to make up the numbers.
Approaching the defender with your attacker to then turn around with either a skill move or left stick dribbling to then draw that defender out and then have the gaps slowly start to open up. A very effective way of opening up space, opening up the gaps for your other attackers to then run into, and you obviously to find that pass into them for them to then have a shot. The way you do this is you pretty much need to obviously have the ball at the feet of your attacker, whether that's your striker or your winger or even a midfielder who's progressing towards the defensive line. You then want to use left stick dribbling to chop backwards to where the player is facing for him to then turn around as you're approaching that defender, and then you will slowly want to start weaving in and out and going backwards the opposite direction to where the goal is, and more likely than not the opponent will follow that attacker with this centre back which he has selected. And what this does is draw that centre back out to leave in behind a lot of space and some gaps for you to then subsequently do maybe some quick tick attacker passing into another attacker's feet to then find the space and obviously get that shot off. Such a good way of attacking in FIFA 22, and you guys should definitely utilize this technique. However, there is a second technique and I'm gonna jump into it right now. Receiving the ball first time from a pass into your striker's feet to then run towards where you receive the ball. So you're passing from your midfielder into your striker. You then want to use the left stick dribbling to then go the opposite direction to where the goal is and towards the direction of where you have received the ball. Because the striker will be on that defensive line looking for that pass, he will have a centre back right behind him. And more likely than not, the opponent will select that centre back and put pressure onto that striker. Yet again, another very good way of opening up space and opening up gaps for you to then maybe thread a through ball through, depending on where you are on the pitch, or to find a subsequent pass to the attacker who is open in the space which is now open. This final segment entails a couple of tips for you guys in better utilizing these techniques that I've just taught you. They are outlined in my dribbling and taking a touch tutorials on the channel, so if you haven't seen those, go and check them out. But in general, what you're going to be wanting to do is of course use the left stick dribbling technique which I've taught you guys, and that's chopping with the stick, not rolling but chopping, and weaving in and out of where you are so that you have the defender jockeying you and moving side to side, trying to read where you're going to go. Once he commits too far, you can then go into the direction which is opened up to then get in behind and obviously exploit that space at which you have opened up. And obviously it's also important that you guys take that touch in the direction to where you receive the ball, and that's obviously by holding that left analog stick towards where you have received the ball, the opposite direction to the goal, and you're not holding sprint when you do this. You let go of sprint and you take that touch for the player to cradle it into him before you then use the left stick dribbling technique to draw that centre back out and open up the space. It's quick but sweet tutorial for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, lads, for the support on the channel. We've nearly hit 24,000 subscribers. I cannot believe it. It's been just, it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal, and the comments that you guys leave, they're touching, lads. But that will signal the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm out. Sayonara, au revoir, adios, salam, and goodbye.